Hi, Stitchers!
Hi, I'm Laura.
I'm Keisha, and we're the Pattern Queens, and this is Stitch With Us, episode 34. Today is June the 18th, and Father's Day if you're in the US, and this is a channel about cross-stitch.
And friendship and silliness and rambles and shenanigans. And a lot of stuff around in the office today that you get to see.
That's okay. That means if you bought something from the Black Needle Society, probably it's in one of the boxes around here.
That could be.
Yes. So what's new with you, Laura?
Well, I have a couple of finishes that I'm going to sneak in and show. Katie had tasked me to stitch Santa's stamp collection because there may be a surprise at the beginning of July. But I finished last night, and Katie hasn't even seen this yet. So
good.
Thank you.
I love that so much.
And I stitched this on 32 count pine cone from Color and Cotton. This is linen. I just love it. And we made one change. If you were part of the original, the red that I'm using is a slightly different color. So, but that's the whole thing.
Just beautiful.
Thank you. And then the other thing,
wait until you see.
I got framing back, and I got home last week and I'm like, oh, I forgot to bring this and show it. So this is Bree's birthday present, floral Darth Vader, all framed. So my frame, it's really picking up the glimmer, but it's kind of a metallic, but it kind of changes, and I loved this. This is on a 32 count precious metals from Silk Weaver using all the called for DMC. The piece itself is from the Nerdy Needle. I just loved how it did. I feel like there's kind of a rainbow on it with all of the shimmer off of the...
for sure.
But anyway, that was that. Yes. And I had one piece of business I wanted to take care of.
Yes.
I know I'm like...
No, it's okay. Go for it.
So last week in our video, we said, say peace if you would like to win this pattern. And Keisha, we did this very scientifically. Keisha didn't know how this was going. So she picked a number, and the winner is Cheryl P. So you will get this pattern, Forever in Peace, from Sweet Wing Studio. I will comment on your comment, and then I'll just have you DM me somewhere, and we'll get your address and get the chart mailed out to you. You can see I did a conversion. So that's my Color and Cotton fabric and the flosses I'm going to use to do this. And I'm planning to start this on my birthday on July 3rd. So there are a couple people now who I think are probably going to be stitching the same thing as me.
Yeah. No, it was very, very scientific, as Laura said. She said, hey, Keisha, pick a number. And I'm like, okay.
So that's how it worked. We're always scientific like
very
that, right?
Scientific. I had no idea what she was asking me a number for.
So what is new with you this week?
Well, there's not a whole lot new. I just went to work. I walked a lot. So this week's challenge on this is the last week of the step challenge for work. But the goal was to do 10,500 steps. And today is the last day of the week as far as it counts. And I have done it so far every day this week, but today. And today we're planning on going to a flower garden and walking around a lot. So
I was trying to look out the window there and see if it was still raining, and I can't quite tell.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and show our pieces, and then I can kind of talk about our plans for today. Do you want to show yours first?
Sure. Okay. I am starting Bristol Grace by Dutch Treat Designs. Now, this came about backwards. I found this beautiful island blue floss from Gentle Art. It is just the most beautiful, glorious stuff, and fell in love with it. And so I walked around the store until I found a pattern, and I thought, oh, this looks really cool. It's kind of in the same colors. I like samplers. I'm just going to admit it. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they're good.
I don't do reproduction samplers, but like you.
Well, I'm doing one.
But I'm doing it on a piece of 32 count linen from Mani di Donna. And really, I only have the very little corner down there started, and it was just so I would know where I was going.
Nice. And then I am working on Castle Homecoming, which is one of the current sals from the Frosted Pumpkin. Here's where I am. So I'm going to be working on the night today. And I was joking with Laura that I'm going to be using gray and yellow. I've already pulled out my colors and they match my shirt today. So, so I'm going to work on this.
Awesome.
And this is on a piece of 32 count Valor from Picture This Plus.
And that you got as a whole kit, right?
Yes, I bought the whole kit and the needle minder I even bought. It says Castle, Sweet Castle, if I can get it together over here. So today, as I mentioned, is Father's Day. So we're going to go to Powell Gardens, which is just outside of Kansas City. A little bit of a drive for us. We've been wanting to go with some friends for the past few weeks. And my friend suggested today, and I was like, oh, you mean Father's Day? Maybe we should check with the guys and see if that's how they'd like to spend their Father's Day. And they both did. So we're going, I guess right now, we've never been, but they have the Fortopia Festival. So they have a bunch of forts built, and it looks like a lot of ones for kids to just crawl around on. And between both families, we have 2 2-year-olds and 1 6-year-old. So I think it's going to be really exciting to go do that. But it was raining this morning. And
yes.
So we're hoping that it clears up. It's only supposed to be a high of 81 today. So we figured that that would be good. And maybe if it's been rainy, it'll keep some of the people away. But we're really excited to go. James really likes going to the flower garden. And today his dad put him in his rain boots. And so he comes into the bathroom while I'm brushing my teeth and he goes, look at my fun boots. I was like, thanks for showing me, buddy. So give that boy something he hasn't worn before and he gets so excited about it.
I meant to bring a piece with me today that I stitched in honor of my dad, but you know, because I was bringing the other 2 things, I completely forgot about it. So maybe I'll stick a picture in on my, either in here or on my Instagram. It would be kind of fun for an Instagram post today.
It's a really good one. I like that piece a lot. So do you have anything special that you're doing today?
Well, we already gave Jeff his Father's Day presents. He is the one who does quite a bit of the cooking at home. So we bought him a new set of pots and pans and a brand new stove.
Oh, well, that's good.
We needed that. And they're coming this morning to haul away the old stove and put the new stove in. And so he'll get to start all of the preparations for that.
Nice.
But
it's probably super exciting for him.
And if you guys don't know, Jeff is disabled, and so we don't get out and do a whole lot of stuff. But this was something that he had wanted to get, and Katie and I made a trip out to a big box store yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were able to get this stove. It has a little dent. Ooh, it's never even left the store. It has a little dent, and that little dent made it half off.
Nice.
So
that's always exciting.
Yes. And we told him that, and Katie even took close-up pictures, and he's like, yeah, that's not going to bother me.
Right. Take the deal.
So it was really good. And he's asked for Olive Garden for dinner. So we'll go pick that up and bring it home and have Olive Garden dinner tonight.
Nice. Not sure what we'll have for dinner tonight. Timothy also likes pasta, so maybe we'll do that. My parents were in the city on Friday, but before I got off work, so I wasn't able to go meet them. So I think my dad's just spending the day at home today, probably seeing my brothers. I'll give him a call with my boy. But you can wish him happy Father's Day too. So All right, I have a couple of fun questions for you.
Oh no, we never
tradition.
know where Keisha's
Never
going.
know. Well, here in the northern hemisphere, Wednesday is the first day of summer. So I've got some summary questions.
Whoa. Oh, I should have said before we started this, so you're making me think. This piece that I started is one of my June starts. And I kind of abandoned the other one because I ended up stitching that whole model.
Right.
So summer. Now I'm thinking, do I need a summer solstice start?
Ooh, well, and oh my gosh, I'd have to look at both, please. I'm gonna ask you the question and I'm gonna look at Instagram real quick. Okay. My first question is, what is your favorite cool drink to enjoy on a summer's day?
Oh, so I talked about this in a chat we had recently with the Black Needle group. During the summer, well, when I'm out of school, so it's summer vacation for me already, right? My favorite thing is to get at home to get Jeff to make iced tea. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just iced tea that he makes on top of the stove, and he gets it all ready. It's all sweetened, so it's sweet tea.
Yes.
And we're done. But my out of the house favorite drink, I think Keisha probably knows this, is a Sonic Diet Limeade with I get the sugar-free syrup, so I get blackberry and raspberry are my two favorites in it.
I had a roommate, well, we're very good friends. We've been friends for a long time, who would do make the tea on the stove, already sweeten it, and there was just always a pitcher in the fridge all the time throughout the whole year. So that always makes me think of her. I really, really like lemonade. Lemonade is one of my favorite things from just about anywhere. I like a Sonic lemonade because you can get all sorts of flavors and things in it. I like a half tea, half lemonade.
Oh, an Arnold Palmer.
And usually I'll do a like an unsweet tea with the lemonade, so it's not like super sugary. Though I won't say no to a sweet tea with the lemonade. That's also fine. So yeah, I'm all about once the sun's out, I'm all about citrus.
So I would drink lemonade, but really I need for it to be a sugar-free. I think I've been diabetic long enough that the sweet sugary drinks just kill me. Our tea is made with Splenda, which I am not a Splenda user, but in the iced tea, it's really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Jeff's just got it down. That's the thing.
That's nice. It's nice whenever you've been doing something long enough that you're like, this is the recipe. We've got it. So I found that the Minute Maid Light Lemonade is a really good one.
Is it? Okay.
And if you need to know this, which was very important information for me a couple summers ago, Arby's has light lemonade in the fountain.
Nice.
As a lot of you may know, I had gestational diabetes when I was pregnant with James, and James's birthday is July 14th, so I really needed lemonade. But I needed light lemonade, and so that's what I found. Is that the Minute Maid light lemonade is not bad.
That's good. I'm always tempted at Sonic because yes, all the fun flavors that you can put in. I've wanted to do that, but I just would have to be on a day where I could balance out the sugar, and that's not a thing.
Yeah. Well, luckily they have the Diet Limeade, so you can still get your like punch of sour with some other stuff. So, and it's fizzy. That's good too.
Yes.
So what I was scouring Instagram for, Miss Tea and Stitches on Instagram is hosting a start along on the 21st of June for just whatever mill hill you have. And I have lots of mill hills, so I may start a mill hill on the 21st. I'm squarely in the middle of model stitching season, but I may do that. But I also have to finish up this part of the stitch along that I'm working on right now, because the new part comes out on Thursday. So,
ooh, how close are you to finishing this?
I'm pretty close. So I have to finish the night here, and then there's some bunting with flags, and then just like a little swirl of magic up in the top. So I'm fairly close. I have a few hundred stitches to do, but it was funny last night. I think my boy was trying to get me to take a break from what I was working on, because he said, "Mom, you stitched the unicorn today? Mom, you stitched the unicorn today?" Because I've been working on the unicorn with him. I've been letting him. He's to the point now where I can just kind of pop the needle up and he'll pull it through for me. And then he just sticks it down wherever he would like to stick it. And then we just kind of go back and forth. So I've worked on this a lot at bedtime, so he's seen it a lot. And this unicorn here is he's a pretty big unicorn, or she, I'm not sure. And we kept stitching it, and he goes, "We're going to stitch it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger till it's the biggest unicorn in the whole world." I'm like, yes, but we're also following the pattern. Because this is a mystery cell, and I don't know what's going on this piece besides the unicorn. So maybe I'll have to just stitch him a really big unicorn at some point.
Too fun.
Yeah, he gets really into this. Okay. The next question is, what is your favorite summertime activity?
Whoa. It's retreat season for us, because that's when I'm out of school. I think one of my favorite things, okay, all of this is crazy, so it's not a big activity, right? One of my favorite things is to hop in the car with Katie and just go on an adventure.
So road trip season.
Yeah, wherever we can make it to, that's where we're going. We tend to visit cross stitch shops. We are pretty good about hopping in the car and just going for a long drive and doing things in one day. So I used to love to go out to the baseball games.
Yes.
That was always fun.
Definitely. Yeah, I like going to baseball games too. And if you know what section to sit in at Kaufman, you can stay out of some of the sun. But now I have to go to the back parts where you have to go play equipment and do all that and be directly in the sun, which is no fun. I like to be part of the road trips whenever I get a chance to be part of the road trips and go to places like the largest truck stop in the world. I really like to just kind of be outside. I like to swim, but I haven't been swimming for a long time. And I like swimming inside, but swimming outside in the summertime just makes it feel more leisurely than just kind of swimming for fitness.
We have bought passes to go to Oceans of Fun, which is like our local amusement park. And we haven't made it yet, but we're hoping this week will be the week.
Yes,
so
we'll have to do that. I also, I just kind of like anything that gets me outside. I really like going to the zoo, even though we can do that year round here. It's fun to go to the zoo, and I'm really looking forward to going to the flower garden more this summer. I just like to be out in the bright sunshine.
I look at the sun and burn, so I tend to stay inside.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well, Timothy has purchased lawn chairs for all three of us. So James has a little lawn chair that has dinosaurs on it. And so we've just been sitting outside while he draws with chalk or blows bubbles or plays t-ball. And we just sit there. I take my stitching. Timothy takes his book, and we sit out there and we have our water bottles, and James will sit down and ask us to blow bubbles every once in a while, and we just have a nice time. I'm looking forward to more of that this summer.
I'm hoping to drag my family to the park on July 4th because my birthday's July 3rd. I love fireworks displays. Right. And Gladstone has a really nice display. So none of us would have to go to work the next day. I mean, we wouldn't have to go to work early. Katie and I would probably come to the office and work.
Right.
But it would be lovely to go and not worry about racing out of there and, you know, to just go. And where we are, the Northland Symphony does a free concert before the fireworks display.
Oh, fun.
And so you can go early, you can, you know, take a picnic with you, have your meal there, enjoy yourself. And then right at the end, they play the 1812 overture, and that's when the fireworks start.
Oh, that's fun. Maybe we'll have to check that out because I'm trying to figure out where we're going to take James for fireworks.
Okay.
This may be the first year that he can stay up late enough to go see some.
Well, and the great thing about that is that, you know, if you have taken, we used to always take blankets with us, then you can lay your kids down if they get tired. They wake up in time for the fireworks. So,
ooh, I didn't mention another one of my favorite summertime activities, which is here in Kansas City. The Heart of America Shakespeare Festival happens in June, and it's the Tempest this year. And I have a friend, the same friend who makes sweet tea and leaves it in her fridge. We try to go. We haven't been in a few years just because COVID and having a kid and all that kind of stuff has delayed it. But we are bound and determined to go this year, see the Tempest, either with the boys in tow or without them. We'll see. So, and we always take blankets out to the park, and they let you bring in whatever food. So we always bring a picnic basket and just have a good time. That's one of our traditions of summer, is to go to a Shakespeare festival and just sit and enjoy. Done with this helmet here.
We have lots of summer birthdays too. So
yes.
I've said a couple times already, my birthday is July 3rd, Katie's is July 8th, and Bree's is July 21st.
So you're in birthday season too.
We are, and you're included in that too.
Yeah. So
you and James.
Yeah. So my birthday is July 31st. James's is July 14th. But even growing up, these grandparents have since passed away, but my mom's dad's birthday was on the 7th of July. And my dad's mom's was on the 26th of July. So we've always had a whole bunch of July birthdays in our family. And then it's kind of fun because I feel like Timothy's birthday is always right before Memorial Day or on Memorial Day. So his birthday kind of kicks off the unofficial start of the summer season. And then I have a brother whose birthday is the 27th of August. So he would usually, like, that was right when we were going back to school. Oh, it's also state fair time. Have you been to the Missouri State Fair much?
I have not ever been.
Never been. You'll have to go sometime. So the Missouri State Fair is in Sedalia, Missouri, which is where I graduated from high school. So I lived there, and I've been enough that I'm like, the fair. My mom keeps telling me that I need to come and take James to the fair, and I'm like, but I've been to the fair so much.
I'd love to go. I've thought about, displaying at the fair, but I've never gotten anything together to go do it. And
right.
So
that's fun. It's definitely cool to go to. It's just whenever you live in the same town as the fair and the town that you live in is not like huge, you're just like, oh man, the fair. That means it's going to take me an extra half hour to get anywhere I want to go, even if I use the back roads, because everyone's using the back roads. Another fun thing. So now I'm just talking about all the festivals and places where I live. In June, not technically in summer because it's the first weekend of June, Sedalia has the Scott Joplin Festival. And so Scott Joplin is one of the more famous composers of ragtime music, and he wasn't born in Sedalia, but he wrote his most famous songs. So probably one that you'd know, the entertainer. Da 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 da. It's in a lot of old timey things. They use it as the signature of old timey music, I feel like. And so they have downtown, people from all over the world come, and they have a piano that just sits under this gazebo. And so people will come and they'll play, and you can listen, and then they have like kind of a street fair thing, so you can get corn dogs and all the street fair foods that you think of. And then they have like actual concerts inside that you can pay to go see and all that kind of stuff. But it's just kind of fun to be downtown and walking around downtown and hearing music while while you're just kind of hanging out. There was one year that I was working, my last job, I audited different places, and I was doing an audit of the port there in Sedalia, and it was during the Scott Joplin Festival, and I got to sit outside and eat a corn dog on my lunch break and just listen to ragtime music. And that's one of the best. The best.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So I really like just small festivals like that, that are just cool things for the community.
Mm-hmm. My aunt and uncle lived in Kearney, which is just a little bit north of us, but was smaller when I was younger. And we would go up and spend a lot of time with them. And my mom and dad used to tell me that Kearney did multiple fireworks displays. And there was one on the 3rd. So mom and dad used to tell me that was just for my birthday.
Oh, that's nice. That's a magical thing to think whenever you're small.
So, you're getting a little background into why I stitch Americana here, because absolutely, it was fun because I enjoy my birthday so much. I just love that it's my birthday. And I think it's because it was always spent around a lot of my family, and we were doing fun things, and all the cookouts, all the great stuff. So
so always a celebration around your birthday. We never really did a whole lot for 4th of July. We saw the fireworks, but we didn't really do a lot as a family. We did always have a joint birthday party for my grandma and I, since our birthdays were so close. Which was really everyone coming to my parents' house, cousins, aunt and uncle, and us having a barbecue and then eating a cake.
Fun.
Which was always good. But what I remember is that, and I don't know if this is true or if it's just what happened in, a kid's mind, but it seemed like it always rained on my birthday. And even now, it seems like it always rains at least a little bit on my birthday. But, we live in Missouri. It's humid. It's the end of July. It's probably going to rain, even just a little bit. So I just remember, being outside and playing, and then having to go inside, and then waiting for the rain to be done while the adults are playing cards, and just wanting to go back outside and play and run around.
I can remember being up at my aunt's house, and there were a lot of kids. And when it would rain, we would all run outside, and we'd kick off our shoes and socks, run outside and stand under their drains, drain pipes, and just get poured on in the rain, because that was just fun, right?
Yes. I remember there was one year, I'm not sure what happened to it after this year. Probably it either got torn up or my parents decided it was too much work. My parents got a slip and slide one year.
Oh,
and oh man, we were just all bruised up and everything, but we had the best time with that slip and slide.
So I'll tell you a little scary tale, a little cautionary tale. When Bree was little, Jeff and Bree had gone ahead over to his parents' house, and they had set up a slip and slide in the back, and evidently Bree was not getting it. So Jeff decided to show her how to do this. And he went running and did the thing. And a little bit later, one of his sisters said, hey, Jeff, you're bleeding. And they couldn't figure it out. So I'm still at home with Katie. We're getting things together. I get a phone call that says, hon, I need you to get here and take me to the hospital. What? So we rush over there and we get him in the car and get on our way to the hospital, where I find out that he did this slip and slide, and when he landed, he had burst a varicose vein that was close to the surface.
Oh no.
And so he was just absolutely gushing. I pulled up at the emergency door, and one of the nurses came out and said, you can't park there. And I'm like, he's bleeding from his leg. And so she ran in and grabbed a wheelchair, came out and got him, and then I went and parked and came in. But I mean, it was just a mess. Now, the funny part about it is that a couple of weeks later, when we went back, for them to check it out and take out the stitches, they were talking to him and they said, oh yeah, we had this guy come in on the 4th of July. I heard all about this. And he had been on a slip and slide. And we just burst out laughing. And I'm like, it was him. So yeah, so there's your cautionary tale. As an adult,
don't do the slip and slide.
Don't do it that way.
Well, that's good to know. Whenever I was using the slip and slide, I was a lot more durable, because what I found out about children is it doesn't matter. They'll just fall right on the ground and have a couple of new bruises the next day.
I can remember when Katie was little, we did a birthday party for her in the backyard, in Jeff's parents' backyard. And we had all the kids from daycare come. So it was early. It was before she was even in school. But they had kind of a nice, gentle hill in the back. And we had set up a slip and slide down it.
Ooh.
And at the bottom, we had put, like a little wading pool. So the kids had more fun that day, just running up the hill and sliding down on the slip and slide. And there were kids who had not done it before, but they just had the best time.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It was the best party. And then, of course, like we had cake and ice cream, and I think we even fed them hot dogs first. So it was a very summer thing.
Like I'll see so we only had the slip and slide one year, because it probably got torn.
Oh, I'm sure.
So so my dad we would go outside, and my dad, looking back, because I'm a parent now, he probably just had the best time, because we had a hose that had a head that had a bunch of different settings, and he'd just stand there just spraying the hose, and we would just run through it. My dad wasn't doing anything. Every once in a while he'd change it, so it was would be a little bit different, and my brothers and I would just run through the hose.
We had a sprinkler that we would use, and we had a sprinkler when Bree was little, and I have the best picture in one of her scrapbooks. I had taken a picture of her when the water she was little enough, I'm still holding her hands. But the water had hit her and it was cold, and she had sucked her whole tummy in. So that's the picture you see. But whoever took the picture managed to get us on the very edge of the picture. So I have this whole photo that's just all the green backyard. And, you don't really need that when your attention is really this one little piece.
Right.
So I ended up cutting that off, and then I thought, I hate to waste all that. That's so pretty. I cut it in strips, and then I fanned it out so it looked like the sprinkler.
Oh, fun.
So it's a really fun way to use up that piece and have it be a focal point instead of just thrown away.
That's fun.
That's a cute picture of her.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to, figure out summer traditions and everything now, because, we have a person who's actually forming memories. But now, the big thing are the splash parks. And he's only been to one splash park so far. And there weren't really any kids there whenever we went. So we haven't braved the big one in North Kansas City because there are always a bunch of kids there.
We were on vacation one year and just came upon one at a shopping center area. And we ended up, we just decided we were going to let Bree go. And we ended up going shopping afterwards and just bought her new clothes and put her in them. Yeah. And we had to buy underwear and socks. She was, I don't remember if we really put her back in socks and shoes, but we bought flip-flops or whatever we needed. She was just soaked all the way through. And we were far enough away from where we were going that she had to have dry clothes.
Right.
The other thing I remember is that it didn't matter how hot it was outside. When you got out of the pool, it was always freezing.
Oh, yeah.
And you had to be all wrapped up in your towel.
Right.
So
one of the best summer memories I have from being an adult is my niece came to visit us before we had James, and we took her to the splash park and let her play around, and she had a great time. And then she's freezing. We wrap her up in a towel and we head down the street just a little ways to where they had a snow cone truck, and got her a snow cone. And so we sit down underneath this umbrella, and it was a red umbrella, and she's eating her snow cone. She's so proud. I take a picture to send to her mom, and the red umbrella cast such a red on her that it looked like she was horribly sunburned. And her mom's like, what? It's not a sunburn, I promise. We put all the sunscreen in the world on her before we let her play.
I remember her coming to stay with you during the summer.
She came a couple of summers. She hasn't so much recently because it's kind of hard to work it out.
Well, and COVID hit and changed a lot of things.
Yeah, she did come. She didn't come last year, but she came the year before. And there was one day where I took off the day, but we left James in daycare and we went to the zoo and had a great time. So, but now she's hit preteen years, and probably coming to spend a couple of days with her aunt and uncle isn't the most exciting thing in the world. Her aunt and uncle and an almost 3-year-old. James will be 3 next month. We're less than a month away from him being 3. So that's another fun, just like summertime tradition that we have now, just because James' birthday is in summertime, is Timothy and I always take the day off of work, and we pick something just for him to do. And we by coincidence, I guess, the last 2 years on his birthday, we went to a Mexican restaurant. On his first birthday, we took him to his first Mexican restaurant because he loved beans, and we had been through COVID, so we hadn't really taken him out a whole lot. So we just took him to a place where he could eat as many beans as he wanted. And then his second birthday, he still really liked beans, so we're like, well, we'll take him to the same restaurant. And so I don't know what restaurant he'll go to this year. He still really, really likes beans, but he also really likes noodles. So we'll have to see where we end up going.
We always let the kids pick where they wanted to go out to eat. There was a restaurant, T-Rex, here. Yes. And that was where Bree always wanted to go. And that was just fun. And we could get one dessert for all of us to share, and then we would go home and have the birthday cake and ice cream that, of course, we had.
Right.
So the kids always loved it because they always got double dessert on their birthdays.
Oh, yeah, that's exciting as a kid.
I think Katie's best birthday was probably her 5th birthday because leading up to it, we went up to visit Jeff's brother and sister-in-law, and they didn't have kids yet. So they said, well, Katie gets to pick what we do. and she chose to go see The Lion King. And of course, they had gifts for her, and they, Katie got to celebrate her birthday up there. And then when we came home, so that was all big stuff, And when we got home, then we had a birthday party with just the family. So she got to enjoy that. And then we had a birthday party with a bunch of her friends at one of the fun places, probably Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. So the next year when her birthday came around, she said, are we going to Uncle Brian and Aunt Karen's? I knew where that kid's mind was going.
Yeah. My 13th birthday was the first time I ever was in an airplane. And I don't think my parents had really planned for it to be this way, but they had been wanting to go and visit my aunt and uncle who live in Georgia. And so that just happened to be the day that the tickets were booked. So for my 13th birthday, we went to Atlanta, and they live just outside of Atlanta, but it was the first time I'd ever eaten at the Cheesecake Factory. I didn't know that there was such a place. So I got pasta that had shrimp on it, and I felt very fancy. And then my uncle said that I could have whatever kind of cheesecake I wanted. And he showed me the book of all the cheesecakes you can have.
Oh, yes.
And then people came over and sang happy birthday to me. And we didn't really go out on my birthday. Like I said, we always had some sort of barbecue and had cake and ice cream at the house. So I thought that was just the coolest thing in the whole entire world. But growing up, it was so usually my birthday party with my parents was with my dad's side of the family. And so then I would go see my mom's parents most summers, and so we'd always do something for my birthday there too. So I got to have a couple of birthday celebrations, which was usually just my grandma cooking things, and we would just have fun at the house. But she'd always make me the same thing every single year for my birthday because it's what I would ask for.
I don't know which birthday it was of mine, but I can remember that my mom made me take the trash out, and I grumbled the whole way because it was my birthday and I had to go take the trash out. And I got out there, and the reason she had wanted me to go out is that they had gotten me yard darts. Do you remember those? So if you don't remember, it's a great big ring, kind of like a hula hoop almost. And you lay them on the ground at opposite ends, and it's like playing horseshoes, except with these yard darts. So they're oversized darts, and you would toss them and try and get them in the rings. But that's what was laying out there on top of the trash can for me.
Oh, that's fun.
My mom and dad played horseshoes all the time during the summer. Well, they played horseshoes anytime they could be outside.
Yeah, that's fun. I haven't played horseshoes in a long time, and
I know.
I'm not very good at horseshoes.
And I used to love to play croquet and all the things because we had a big backyard, so we did all the things.
I like croquet quite a bit, but I haven't played that in a long time either.
And badminton.
Yeah, we'd usually have some badminton going in the yard. Most of the time, whenever we were playing outside, though, I would be riding my bike around the yard that we had. My mom makes fun of me. She brings this up all the time. So I'm the oldest. I have two younger brothers. One brother is 4 years younger than me. The other one is almost 9 years younger than me. The one that's 4 years younger than me would run behind me as I was riding my bike because he didn't ride a bike at the time. And we played roller coaster is what I called it, because I just wanted to ride my bike, but my brother wanted to play with me. So I said, okay, well, I'll be the front of the roller coaster, you be the back of the roller coaster, and you just run as fast as you can to follow me and keep up on this roller coaster. So my mom likes to give me a hard time about that. And I'm like, do not give me a hard time for being a creative child. It got your child exercise, and I got to do what I wanted to do.
There you go. I forgot my usual threader at home, so I'm having to use a different one for me. and that's interesting. I finished one length and I am ready to thread another one.
Well, I was going to ask if we were getting to a good.
Well, I think I'm at a good stopping point.
All right, you show off yours because I'm almost to a good stopping
I will snip this. I didn't quite finish this corner motif, so I will thread up when we get done and finish this off so that I make sure I get there. But I managed to get most of the little corner motif in there.
Nice.
And I am loving how this floss is looking. It's so pretty. Really pretty. It changes teals and greens. Oh, really, really cool.
I have got 2 stitches to do, and I'll show you where I did because I'm stitching. I'm almost finished with this gray on the sword.
Okay, while I'm doing this, it makes me think, I'm sure all of you watching know this, but when you are using any floss, you should always pull it, you should separate it from the rest of the length, one at a time, and then put them back together, because it fluffs up your floss and just makes it have better coverage.
And also makes it so you don't tangle it as badly whenever you're pulling it away from the rest of the strands too.
So what are your favorite summertime memories? What do you want to tell us and share with us? We love reading your comments.
Yes, let us know. And we're going to be doing a couple of more Stitch With Us, you know, as we go into July, because we have models to do, and the week of Frogwarts happens on a Sunday, so we'll be putting up a Stitch With Us for that. So at least in a couple weeks, we'll be doing a Stitch With Us. So if you have any questions for us, and we may also make Katie do a Stitch With Us that time.
Yes.
So if you have any questions for Katie, let us know, and I'll make sure that I put her right on the spot and interview her. We'll turn it around on that journalism major. But here's where I got. So I put all of the darker gray in the helmet, and on the armor here, and in the sword.
Awesome.
So there we go.
It's always fun when we sit and stitch during these.
Yes, no, for sure.
And with our age difference, it's fun to talk about the different memories and to see how different and how similar they are.
Yeah, well, and I bet it's interesting for you, since I am basically the same age as Katie too.
Yes.
Like coming from that angle. Katie's older than me, but only by a little bit.
Like by 2 weeks.
You're right.
But also the difference in family dynamics, because my mother was 40 and my dad was 45 when I was born.
Oh, see, my mom was 18 and my dad was 23.
So. Yeah. So even just coming from that, we have a very different background for memories, and you hung out a lot with your grandparents. We went to my grandparents some, but we more often went to, it's my mother's sister, my aunt and uncle, to their home and hung out, and there were always kids.
That's fun.
So
that's fun. And I only have 3 cousins.
Oh, wow.
So my mom was an only child. So, well, I have 3 cousins who are around. I have 7 cousins, but 4 of them were down in Georgia, so we didn't see them that often.
That's kind of how we were, but my mother was one of a big family. I want to say that there were about 7 kids, but there may have even been a couple more who didn't survive past childhood. So
oh yeah, no, I think if I tried to sit down and ask my husband how many cousins he has and what their names were, he'd have a hard time, because his dad is from a pretty big family. So
my mom's 2 sisters, one of them had 6 kids and one of them had 8 kids.
Wow.
And there were 4 of us. Well, there were 6 of us, but we lost 2 early. So yes, big families.
Well, do you think we've rambled enough, Fly?
I think we have, and I think there are only more shenanigans to come today.
For sure, for sure. So all that's left to say is bye.
Bye. Have a good week.